Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we talk through Lux Row's Thinking Person's new brand. Seriously, get a chalkboard out to diagram this. You may need it. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me welcoming my co-host Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Katie Joyce and Kathy Cool.
Hey gang, what's up?
Hey.
Hello.
Well, first off, shout out to Becca. Great job there on the intro. A lot of times you can tell our announcers don't read it before they start reading it on the air, and they don't pause or put inflection or make things dramatic. Becca nailed that one. She had that one
really
down.
Did.
I read it.
I would like for her
1
to
minute
win
ago.
Pop right now.
Yeah.
Just to get credit.
She did excellent for sure. So yeah, we're going to be talking about this new brand from Lux Row called Double Single Barrel. So we'll see if we can figure this out. Should be fun. We'll get to that after the break. For right now, Katie said there's something she want to talk about. What is that, Katie?
Yes, I'm curious to know, when you're on a car ride, could be a full road trip, do you have any go-tos for like staying alert or staying awake? That's the question before I go further.
For me, it's just a matter of putting something on the radio, whether it's a podcast, whether it's music. I think that keeps me engaged enough where if I happen to be tired, I can usually, that'll keep me going enough where it's like, I can do this. So that's what I do. Something that interests the mind and that keeps me alert.
I downloaded, I just recently went on, it was only 6 hours, so I didn't even have to turn to help. But, when I called my mother to tell her I'm leaving and it's going to be 6 hours from now, she's like, but you're all alone. I'm like, yes. Okay. Isn't that nice?
All alone.
My mother did that today when I drove to Arnold. And that was less than an hour.
Like all alone.
Right.
Yeah,
you're all alone. But I download Audible books. Usually.
Yeah, those help.
Yeah, usually if you find a book that is either something that has a lot of action or comedians like to write books. Tina Fey has a book. I've listened to that.
Tina Fey's good. Yeah.
Yeah. If you listen to something like that, that helps pass the time.
Yes.
Also, I get a good 12 hours of sleep a night, so I'm rarely tired.
You sleep 12 hours at a clip? Oh,
no, I don't.
Say. Wow.
But I did go to bed at like 8:30 last night, and I was out with friends.
Okay.
So,
I tried to sleep that long. I think my spine would like reject and just like walk out of my body. It would be my back would be so angry from laying down.
Better mattress.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
No way. Couldn't do
Becca,
it.
Well, what about you? Where do you stand on this?
I sort of like to think of myself as a little bit of a different creature in this aspect because of the fact that I worked in the oil field for a long time.
Right.
And I worked night shift for a long time. And where I worked night shift at was 2.5 hours away from home. Now, I did not have to drive. I had a place that I would stay when I was in that town, but on my days off, I would drive home. But also before that, where I worked was 45 minutes from home, and it was not traffic like drive home. It was just shitty like roads. And so I've worked a lot of night shift in my life. And for a while I was working like, there were some nights I was working, like 17-hour days. And when I should say 17-hour nights. And so when I would get done with my shift, it'd be on my last day. And so I would just drive straight back to my home instead of going to where I was staying. Which it was just because like, well, I want to get back home. I don't want to like sleep here and then still drive 2.5 hours home. So I just drive home right after my shift. And that is very tough on your body. I'm just going to say that it is very, very tough if you work 17 hours. And also when you work night shift, you wake up prior to your shift. Like when you work a regular day shift, you are waking up and going to work, and then you're staying up after that because that's how it works. Right. When you work night shift, you wake up earlier than your shift, you work, and then you go to bed when you get home. So like that's kind of a different shift on like you're sleeping. So there was definitely a few times where I would be driving back.
Katie's ordering food right now.
Yeah, Katie's putting her
like a burger, extra fries.
I'm gonna need a fillet, some sweet,
no arugula in the salad this time.
Yeah.
Arugula was too bitter.
So I'd be driving home from work sometimes at night, or I guess in the morning, and I'd be driving back, and you get delusional. When you're driving back because you're just so exhausted. I mean, there's sometimes I'd go like 34 hours without sleeping because I just wouldn't even go to bed. But you'd be driving back, and it doesn't matter how loud you blast your music, how interesting it is you're listening to. You are so mentally and physically exhausted at that point that you are about to crash your car and die.
Like and when like trees are jumping out in the road.
And I'm not joking. Where your eyes start to go cross-eyed. And that's not a joke. Like your eyes all of a sudden start to go, and you're like, holy shit. And the only thing you can do is smack yourself in the face.
Smack yourself. Okay.
And that is not a joke. I've had to smack myself in the face to try and get my eyes right. Like roll down all the windows when it's freezing cold outside, smack yourself in the face.
That's funny because that's what I do when I've been drinking too much and I'm driving home.
Oh God.
She's kidding, everyone. She's kidding.
Yeah, that's for comedic effect.
She would never
comedic purposes, but yeah, like I mean, it's like you do feel like you're absolutely trash, and so you roll down all the windows. You're smacking yourself in the face. I would sometimes I'd hit the steering wheel and scream at the top of my lungs, and that like will snap your brain back into being like, all right,
refocus. You
have to be awake right now.
You got like 3 minutes out,
and
of
it's but you only get so much time out of it. And like it usually would happen like you're 15 minutes from home, like you're so fucking close to being in bed, and that's why your body's starting to shut down. Because like those first 2 hours, you're like, I'm awake, I'm ready to drive home, I'm excited, I'm good to go. And then you're like, oh man, I'm so close to home now, and your body goes, home? Did you say home? Oh, so sleepy time? And your body's like, we go into sleepy time mode.
Eyelids get heavy.
Oh, no, and like your eyes go cross-eyed. It is horrifying. I'm not suggesting this to anyone. It is so absolutely dangerous. And it's only happened to me maybe a few times in my life, but it was absolutely terrible. But slapping yourself in the face, rolling down your windows, punching the steering wheel, and screaming at the top of your lungs, I'll wake you back up.
Okay. Would you consider a drive to St. Louis? I know we're getting ready to carry some Neely Family Distillery products. We would love to have Neely there. A Neely family member there rolling out things. Certainly we want to have Royce there at some point, but I think a better event would be Royce one weekend, Beka the next weekend. What are your thoughts about that?
I'm fantastic driving. Like I can drive for long periods of time. Like I've done that forever. I'm just saying that when you work for a 17-hour shift prior overnight, it's not exactly ideal.
Would you commit to coming to St. Louis to do an event?
Yeah, I can do that.
That'd be good. I had a customer request for that. I think it's a great idea. I think you and Royce together would be fantastic.
Let's clarify. One customer request.
Yeah. Well.
I have had
a singular customer request.
I think they speak for everyone. I think they speak for everyone.
Request for you to come there.
I think that was just a good idea because I was like, well, I'll have Royce and Beka here. And this person was like, you should just have Beka. And I was like,
I'm way more
Really,
fun.
Royce?
I am way more fun without my husband.
yeah. But I think we want him in there too. But again, that's like two different times talking about Neely. And you've got a lot of products. When we get you guys in, we're carrying everything. So it's not like we can be like, okay, we're going to taste out 20 items today. No, we divide that up over 2 weeks. I think it'll be good. Part 1 and part 2. Royce one weekend, Beka the other. So there you go.
Anyone who misses that is a fool.
Would be a fool. Yes.
Was it Kathy that requested this?
It was Kathy. Yeah.
Knew it. Son of a bitch.
All right, Katie, you asked the question. What is your answer?
Well, so I do agree with Beka when you get to the dangerous level. Those are all fantastic suggestions. Usually I'm singing to the music before I get there because I find just passively listening to anything is not sufficient. Oh, look at this delivery. Thank you.
What the fuck is that?
That's a meal. That's not a snack.
I
asked for any snack, and what I got was I'm gonna look
It's a
at
styrofoam container. Which, by the way, styrofoam
with a fork inside
seems to be against anything Katie stands for.
That's chicken?
It is
have salsa on top.
It is a Mexican dish.
Chimichanga.
What? Birria something. Birria. I'm gonna have to ask the name of this.
So
now.
what do you do for
Chicken with
carbon
salsa.
offset? What do you do for carbon offset for getting a styrofoam container? Is there some
Well,
sort of-
I did not go to this restaurant. He came
Well,
home
you
with it.
got
I'm a
it.
little disappointed. I would have refused it and been like, "You put that in my hand. I will carry this home instead."
Okay.
Just dish it onto my hands.
Dish it onto my hand. It'll burn your hand, but you'll be like, oh,
And they had
saving the
he
environment.
had this whole like tortilla pizza with birria on it, and so I would just have to
Right.
hold it with both my hands the whole way
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Or
you
I would pull out my compostable bags and I'd be like, drop it in here. I came prepared.
I'm disappointed, really, to see that. So,
Mhm. Yeah, I'm
Well,
a little
very
sad
sad.
it came into my house at all, and that he then served
Yeah.
it to me.
yeah.
On screen.
Here we are. I know, right?
So you stay awake by singing?
Oh yeah, okay. So this is your all's
You're
fault. You're
singing.
the one who asked about snacking.
Right. Well, that's Beka. Beka
My
did that,
fault.
yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
take that. I'll take the
My normal go-to that I found works really well, and I've been doing this lately, is it requires a second person, but you either by phone or another person in the car with you, you ask random like conversation topics. So you can find them all over the internet. And so it could be conversation topics for like 20 questions to get to know your friend better, and they have lists of these questions. And this is every time John and I go to Kentucky. So his hometown is in northeast corner. It's a little bit of it takes about 7 hours for us to get there. We find questions like this, and I found it works beautifully, like way better than a music or song. That's the same word, podcast or a book or music.
Music or song, either one.
Katie, how much have you been drinking before this podcast?
Maybe you should have two of
This
those
honest
chickens.
question. How much
Yeah.
have you had to drink before this podcast tonight?
Send them back to get another chicken in a styrofoam because you need some protein.
Yeah.
Well, I had to try all my samples of the 18 bottles I was buying.
Oh, shit.
So, like,
That's
for
true.
example, the questions we had today, it could be anything from what sports did you play as a kid? If you won the lottery, what would you do with the money? Or which holiday is your favorite? And it just sparks little conversations. And some of them end up leading to like 20-minute conversations. Some of them you answer it and 30 seconds later, you go on to the next one. But I found that it works beautifully for car rides of asking these questions. Now, if you get to the level of tired that Beka is, I suggest you could also pull over on the side of the highway and wait till a car is getting kind of close and you can sprint across the road.
Okay.
And you get enough of that like life and death danger feeling.
Adrenaline. I like
Okay.
that.
All right.
Yeah.
Now,
Almost,
Katie-
I say, honestly, the close to death part is usually almost swerving into the ditch. So that usually wakes you up pretty quick.
Yeah.
Well,
Katie
even when
has.
that one's only lasting like 10 seconds then. But,
Yeah. Then you go right. Yeah.
Up
I
the
agree.
ante.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Yep,
But so
progress.
Katie has vetted this system out where she calls dear friends when she begins to feel tired while driving. She says it's confirmed. It works. So she's done it. I want to ask, my question is not for Katie. My question is for my other two co-hosts here, because I have not been called. I have not been, called to go through the 20 questions. Kathy Cool, has she called you? And
Not once.
Okay, all right. Miss Beka Sue, dear friends. It's reserved for dear friends, so I assume she's called you. So go ahead.
Let's just say that Katie's never fucking called me ever. So.
I don't even know
except for when she needs me.
Yeah, it's good.
Which apparently is not a life and death situation.
Right. When she wants to drink whiskey out of a barrel at your distillery, suddenly she gets
the very quick phone call.
Oh, yeah.
Not when she has that ooey gooey butter cake to bring it to me in Kentucky that she promised me a year ago.
Yeah.
Nope, never has that in hand.
No.
Only to drill into some barrels.
Yep. Yeah. So there you go. That's some insight into our friend Katie. So
I would really like to know. No, you know what? If I knew who Katie's dear friends were, my feelings would be hurt. So keep it a secret, Katie. Keep it a secret.
Keep it a secret. Okay. All right. Yeah. I would
I
probably be surprised.
Anyone but John get these questions. So
okay.
Really,
to be fair, whenever I've had like life and death situations of driving home where I should call someone, it's at like 5 and 6 in the morning. So probably the person to call is me. I'm awake. Yeah, I say honestly, I should have been calling Steve.
Just call me.
In all fairness,
I'm awake. That Yeah.
So
or if you got Fosnut's number, you can call him.
Yeah, that's the other
We're
person
old men,
I could have been calling.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it difficult if you're driving home from work a night shift. It's like, who the fuck do you call?
Right. All right. On that note, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? I'm going to start out. I think I'm the only one that didn't start out yet. I've got Garrison Brothers Guadalupe, or is it Guadalupe? I hear everybody say Guadalupe with this one. I don't want to say it wrong, but I would say Guadalupe. But
isn't it Guadalupe?
I don't know. It's spelled the same way Guadalupe is, but if the name of the product is Guadalupe, then it's Guadalupe. You're saying is you're taking the pronunciation of an incorrect pronunciation and owning it. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I guess. All right. Swide on the set. That was nice. It was bassy. It's probably not going to win based on the cork pops we've had tonight, but I liked it. I'm proud of that cork pop. That was good.
It didn't quite resonate through to this side. It was more like,
that's a good last show pour.
Yeah, so that was a fantastic last show pour.
Oh, in my little mini fishbowl.
Yeah, so you really could have some floating fish in there now.
Yeah, add those Swedish fish in there, Steve.
Yeah, because I don't eat during the podcast. I'll be barbecuing after this, so I need this glass here. I'm going to be out there barbecuing.
It is 8 p.m. It is way too late.
I get it, but that's just the lifestyle I lead. I have to. Yeah, I don't eat during the podcast, but I'll eat. I'm out there barbecuing.
As she shovels a half a chicken in.
All right, Katie, what's your next one?
See, the thing is, the question now we have is we have to ask the listeners, have they ever heard me snacking before? Or is it just that I force all of you to watch me eat? So I'm only rude.
Maybe the listeners.
The only reason I get hungry on podcasts is because I see you eating, and I'm like, I need to fucking eat now. Jesus Christ!
Oh, now she's ordering dessert.
Steve's gonna barbecue after this.
Dessert would be great.
I don't need to just go to bed. I could.
Yeah, I'm barbecuing.
I said dessert would be great, and John just said, "Sure would, wouldn't it?" And he walked back out. I don't think I'm getting dessert on this podcast.
Oh,
fair enough.
Dang. Yeah, why wouldn't it? So
I should have come prepared. Apparently. Anyways, I am popping Art of the Spirits, the bourbon barrel finish, which they just have the prettiest artwork. Like,
and that bottle is fantastic. Wait till you try that one. Or you probably tried it at the shop.
No, this one Darren could not find.
So we hid it from him because he kept drinking it all. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, he doesn't know where it's at. Oh. That's going to be the lead, and it's going to be very tough to beat. We'll see what happens. Kathy's going next. She's putting her cork down into the bottle. I don't think that's a good sign.
I have the same bottle.
Okay, same bottle, but it obviously has been opened before, whereas Katie just opened hers. Okay, definitely a big difference there. Sad. Katie has the lead, and she's getting her dessert, too.
Dessert. I have some frozen Thin Mints for dessert.
And mint cookies.
Wow, what a man.
Wait a second. Did those come out of the freezer? Because that's key.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the way to go.
Freezer.
That's the way to go.
I can see the frost coming off of
them. I like Thin Mints out of the freezer for sure. All right.
Wow.
All right. Last but not least is Beka. Beka.
All right. I've got some Whiskey War from High Bank Distillery up in Columbus, Ohio. Oh, that was really good. I do think Katie got it, but I'm going to consult. I'm not going to do this by myself. I'm going to throw it up to another judge. Let's talk through it. What do you think?
So I feel like Katie's was crisp.
Yeah, it was.
She had a crispness about her, almost as if it were like a Thin Mint cookie, but a cork pop.
Yeah, there you go. It's the Thin Mint cookie cork pop. Cheers. Katie wins.
Cheers.
Cheers. I didn't actually pour it yet.
Katie was sampling all day.
She was too excited about the Thin Mints coming in. She forgot to pour her whiskey. So
Also, I just got a pop-up on my computer. Listen to this bullshit. So it's a message from Systech LLC. I'm going to call them out for how angry I am. Reboot is required after recent updates to your system. Please save your work to avoid any loss of data. The system is going to reboot in 5 minutes. And my only option is to hit OK. Normally, this happens every Sunday into Monday, and it says, do you want to reboot now or later? And I say later until I'm actually to a stopping point where I'm okay with closing out my 32 screens. So if you all lose me in 3 minutes, then Systech is going to hear about it tomorrow.
I think it's because she's been drinking all day.
Yeah.
I do too. I think she's
she doesn't know where the no button is.
I took a picture of it and everything.
Yeah.
I saw you take a picture.
We got to go into
my cork pop.
We got to go into break so we can still have Katie.
Yeah. So we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, Katie may or may not be here. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. We're also sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop focuses exclusively on barrel picks. It's the job of owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot to seek out distilleries that are making the best whiskey in the world, taste through their barrels, and select the ones that are off-profile in the best way possible. They have high standards and refuse to allow anything into their store other than something they would be proud to have their name on. This leads to some really awkward conversations with distilleries that can't make it, but they do it for you, their customers. Learn more about what is going on at their St. Louis-based store by heading over to abvbarrelshop.com. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at neelyfamilydistillery.com.
This is Danny Kennard, which is turning into Freddie Mills. Y'all have a good fucking day because this is the Bourbon Daily. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about a double single barrel?
Yeah, double single barrel. That's how we have to do that because it says we don't know what's going on here. So we're gonna send this over to Kathy to explain this to us. So Kathy, I've got some bullet points there. You wanna cover this for the group and let us know, and we'll have Katie until her computer automatically shuts off.
Right.
So yeah, Katie, you want to tell us where people can find you?
Yeah, in case my computer boots me off, you can find me complaining to Systech LLC from my office, and also on Instagram at Katie Proof.
Okay, all right, fair enough. We got that in at least.
Munch.
Yeah,
that's the important part.
Yeah, all right, Kathy. Sorry, go ahead.
Everyone have their notepads ready.
Okay.
Yep.
We have a 4-year wheated bourbon single barrel, corn, wheat, and malted barley.
Okay.
Then we have a 4-year rye bourbon, single barrel, corn, rye, and malted barley.
Okay.
Then we have 45,000 bottles.
Yes.
Same bottle as a 12-year distillery only offering at $79.99. Now you put in a definition of a single barrel being a single barrel and a double barrel being 2 single barrels, which I'm still only getting 2 single barrels. What is the likelihood that it's going to make 45,000 bottles?
I think what they've done is they've done this process of taking 2 single barrels. That's our single barrels. They dump those and combine those together, and then it's called a double single barrel. Is in their mind. This isn't a government name, so it's not unregulated. So they're allowed to say. So it's 2 single barrels, but I think they're doing that multiple times to come up with 45,000 bottles. That's a lot, by the way. That's a big release.
45,000 barrels. You're saying
That's a really big barrel.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It might be thousands, hundreds. I don't know. Whatever that,
So then it's just a blend.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's a double single barrel.
It's
a double
also
single
known
barrel.
as small batch,
Small batch.
or not, because there's 45,000 bottles. So
What is this small batch you talk of? It's almost as if that already exists.
Okay. So if you did this 112 times, you took 1 single barrel of the corn, wheat, and malted barley, and then combine that with one that was corn, rye, and malted barley, you have a double single barrel. That's one. And then 111 or 100, you do that 111 more times, but keep them separate, not put them together. You have 112 total of these. That adds up to about 45,000 bottles worth. Again, you're bottling them independently, 2 barrels together, and then there's another one that's 2 barrels together. There goes Katie. Katie's gone. She gone. She had no idea. It was like at the end of The Sopranos for her. It just ended. The screen went to black, and she was gone.
Warrior's Journey playing right now.
Oh my God. I was looking down at my paper, still trying to figure out this stupid math, which
Holy
I'm pretty
shit, she's
sure
back?
Oh, she's probably coming on her phone now or something, I bet. Hey, I see different.
She
that's
was
her phone.
Yeah,
prepped
this
and
is
ready.
not
It's her
the
phone.
same computer.
That's not, no.
Do you see this?
The computer.
I'm on my phone now.
Oh, yeah, you sound terrible. Listen to the difference in the sound.
Yeah.
And now she is portrait instead of landscape, so yeah.
Blank
And-
freaking computer over here. Oh, we're going to start back up.
Yeah.
This angry email is going up tonight. It's not even waiting for tomorrow. I'm going to anger keep my snacks now.
They picked the wrong lore to do this.
She's
to.
not even going to mute while she eats that
Yeah.
cookie.
Mm-mm.
She
So,
can't.
Katie, do you
I
have...
don't even know where the buttons are on this phone. I have my whole setup. No.
So basically, they had a process that they repeated 112 times. They combined 1 single barrel that's a wheated bourbon, one that's a rye bourbon, and that created, I don't, for lack of a better term, 1 double single barrel, and they did that 111 more times. Go ahead.
I have a question. Lux Row, they are now associated with MGP, right?
Correct. Yes.
So can we assume these are MGP barrels?
Yes. I would have to
So
guess.
they're
probably.
doing the same thing that everyone else has done? I mean, I like Lux Row. I like them.
Right. Look, Lux Row has made stuff. Maybe it is 112 barrels. It's actually 224 barrels because you're combining them. I would assume they have that many though. So, and maybe they've been in business 3 or 4
You know
years.
what? When it comes out,
maybe
I'm going to
5.
try it.
I have a
Okay.
Another
question.
question that you may have already
I'm gonna try.
discussed while I was so rudely booted off by my tech company who may be fired tomorrow. Are they doing a single barrel and a single barrel, bottling those, and then
Yes.
repeat it? Okay, so they're
Correct.
not combining a whole bunch.
So there'll be 112 different tastes to this project. So even if you try it, the one that I'm buying is very highly unlikely would be the same that Kathy would be buying, or Beka Sue, or Katie.
And they have them
everybody
marked
different.
differently. Like
Yes,
1, 2, 3.
yeah,
Okay,
right.
that was going to be my question.
112 different iterations.
Yeah, different iterations. You can't really call it. I don't know. Maybe it's a tiny batch. Maybe it is.
What they should be called is
it's super.
different batches. They should have a different
Itty
batch
bitty-
number because this isn't single barrel. It's a batch.
But
Itty bitty
right,
tiny
exactly.
batch.
I think they
Oh,
want to
we have a
avoid the batch
new-
thing
we have a
because
new
they're trying to
governmental regulation. It's called the itty bitty tiny batch.
itty bitty
Itty bitty tiny batch.
That's the official name, but I
Yep.
think they're trying to avoid that because they want to play in the single barrel world. So that's why they're calling it a double single barrel. And then if you have the batch number on it, it's like now you're having a double barrel, a single barrel, and a batch. I think they're trying to avoid that, but.
So are they just trying to get someone to buy 112 different bottles of their...
Probably, yes, yeah. That's not. Well, this is not a
if
bad
it's
idea.
something I really liked, I would be looking into buying different ones. If I came across them and it was
The
a
bottle's
different
cool.
version of
Did
it.
you click on the link and look at the bottle? The bottle's cool. I mean, that's cool. It's from their distillery only offering that they do, and so they're using that same looking bottle. Which
What
is,
I think is hilarious is Katie is trying to click on the link.
yeah, she's
but
got her phone.
computer is still rebooting.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep, let me just get that back open again. The other issue I have with this is that I currently have all of my whiskeys organized by single barrel and batched whiskey in the two areas because
Now you got to create a new category.
I'm going to have a whole new category. I'm going to need new shelves for this. Or I'm going to have to completely redo all of my organization of my whiskey.
Yeah.
And then are there other batches, small batches that only use 2 barrels? Because if so, then they need to also technically be a double single barrel.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Technically, I guess they
So
could.
can we create some legislation and get it passed? 1, defining the term single barrel of what it has to be used. And 2, creating the term of itty bitty small batch so that they're required to use that.
Single barrel is actually a regulated term, so it means 1 barrel. But I guess you can say it's not. They're not saying that because they put double in front of it. I guess that changes it. It's there. I guess they would say, well, it's not single barrel, it's double single barrel, which is unregulated.
I'm
Double
just
secret
finding
probation is what it is.
marketing gimmick all over this because if you want to make a 4 grain, make a 4 grain.
Yeah.
There are delicious
Like, just
4
make
grains
it.
out there.
Mm-hmm.
Just make a 4 grain.
Just
Right.
make a 4 grain.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Also, why don't you call it double barrel? Why is it double single barrel?
Because a double
Because they're
barrel would
2
be into
single
a
barrels.
second barrel. It's a secondary barreling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
double single barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Double
that's
single
weird.
barrels.
I don't know. I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's fine, I guess. But
They're just trying to do something different.
Yeah, I'd say it's.
Yeah.
I mean,
Everything's been played out, so you got to come up with new things, and this is what they're trying. They're throwing
Yeah.
this against the wall. Seeing
if
it
it's
interests for
fucking
everything.
delicious, then great,
Yeah.
good for them.
And for $80, I mean,
Hell yeah,
you'd pick
yeah.
it up. I mean, hell yeah.
You know what? I'm not familiar with a lot of 4 grain bourbons, but I think if that took up the reins of wine cask finished, I would be behind that. I think 4 grain bourbons are fun.
Okay.
Just own 4 grain bourbons.
Just own a 4 grain bourbon. So there you go. So we'll see. TBD, it's kind of rolling out now. So, and based on that number, I would assume it's going to be everywhere you can find Lux Row products. So I would assume that pretty much everyone's going to have a chance at this. That's again, most of the small releases are 5,000 to 7,000 bottles. So this is way bigger than that. So I would assume it's going to be pretty readily available. So
Yeah.
sounds like
That
when
is
you
one
can-
nice thing is that they're rolling this out to where you might actually be able to get it.
Right. So many of these things that sound cool, it's like you get frustrated because you're
There's
like,
1,000
I'm never gonna get this.
bottles.
Yeah, I'm never going to get
We
it.
have 14
bottles.
bottles available.
28.
28 bottles. It's a huge offering. So, yeah. So there you go. That's a little bit about the old double single barrel. So look for it in a liquor store near you soon. We may try to get some at the ABV Barrel Shop. Lux Co. being the local company for the Lux Row organization that rolls up to MGP. So we'd love to get some in the shop. St. Louis connection is cool. All right, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Kathy, we're starting with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at KKCaskStrength.
Katie.
You can find me very angrily on my phone because my Outlook is still trying to load, so I can't even get back into a Zoom. But also over on Instagram at Katie Proof.
Katie Proof, yeah. Your audio sounds bad.
Oh, I know. Good thing I didn't do a bottle pop this way. I would have been so angry doing a cork pop.
Oh, man. If you'd have lost because of
I
audio.
wish she would have.
Yeah, she'd have to sue him. She'd have to sue him at that point. You cost me.
Becca would have had a sweep.
Yeah.
Like, this is worse than being cut off in court, people. You cut me off during a cork pop.
Yeah, exactly. Miss Beka Sue, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We also got that company website, abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop. We'll try to get in this double single barrel. We'll see what happens, but we get a lot of single barrel picks, which is pretty cool. You can try them before you buy them. So check out what we have. Follow us. Get on our email and text distribution at abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit the
She's trying to get done. It's like when you're falling asleep, you just want to
Visit
get
us
home.
on the Patreon page.
Visit
at
that close to
patreon.com.
finish.
Thank you. Visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some of the great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro is owned and operated by Russell Creed, who makes stills for the hobby distiller. He offers a one-stop shop for everything the at-home distiller needs. Whether it's a small, experimental stovetop still or something bigger you run outside, he has the still or parts you would have difficulty fabricating yourself if you were trying to build a DIY still project. Additionally, he has resources to assist in creating unique distilled spirits, including heirloom grains, barrels for aging, and recipes. Check out Russell's company online at moonshinestillpro.com. Finally, I have a question for you. Have you ever boxed a bear? Of course not. That'd be silly. Bears really don't follow the rules, so shots in the back of the head, punches to the nuts, and scrums after the bell would be the norm. A better idea would be to enjoy Boxing Bear Whiskey, a brand crafted by Nobleton's Distilling House in Union, Missouri, and sold exclusively at the ABV Barrel Shop in suburban St. Louis. This is a popular offering that sells out quickly, but when you're in town, stop by the ABV Barrel Shop and see if they have it in stock. Better yet, sign up for their email and text distribution over at abvbarrelshop.com and you'll know exactly when it is in stock. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.